Hey everyone, today's video is about when an earthquake happens while in your dorm. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Let's get going. You and Bakugou are spending a quiet evening in your dorm room, cuddled up on the couch, when suddenly, the ground beneath you began to shake violently. The walls creaked, and the room trembled, as if the world itself was protesting. Without a second thought, Bakugou grabbed your hand, pulling you towards the doorway.
Babe, stay close. We need to get to a safer spot,
he ordered, his voice firm yet protective. You followed him out of the room, the building groaning in protest as you stumbled through the shaking hallways.
Katsuki, what's happening?
You asked, fear evident in your voice.
It's an earthquake. Idiot. Just stay close to me.
He replied, his grip on your hand tightening as you navigated the chaotic dormitory. The tremors intensified, causing the lights to flicker and objects to fall from shelves. In the midst of the chaos, you found the doorway, and Bakugou ushered you inside, shielding you with his body as the quake continued its assault on the building. The noise was defeating, but amid the turmoil, Bakugou's voice was a constant, reassuring presence.
Hey, look at me. We're gonna be just fine. Just stick with me, okay? You're gonna be just fine, okay? I promise.
He said, his crimson eyes was locking onto yours. You nodded, finding comfort in his determined gaze. As the tremor subsided, Bakugou helped you both to your feet.
Let's get out of here and check if everything's alright,
he said, leading the way out of the doorway. The dormitory was a mess. Cracks in the walls, shattered glass, and scattered belongings. Students emerged from their rooms, wide-eyed and disoriented. Bakugou took charge then, organizing the evacuation and helping others.
Oi, dumbass, you alright?
He called over to you, concern etched on his face.
Yeah, thanks to you I am,
he replied, a grateful smile on your lips. He grunted in response, a hint of a blush coloring his cheeks. Once outside, the chaos continued. Emergency services were on the scene, and the reality of the situation sank in. Bakugou kept a protective arm around you, guiding you through the chaos. And the crowd.
Guess we're spending the night somewhere else, then,
he grumbled, clearly annoyed by the inconvenience. He chuckled, leaning into him.
As long as I'm with you, I'm good.
He huffed, but you could see a small, satisfied smirk tugging at the corners of his lips. The night might have started with chaos, but as you walked away from the trembling dormitory, hand in hand, you couldn't help but feel grateful for the unwavering strength and support of the exclusive hero by your side. The night air was crisp as you and Bakugou walked away from the chaos. Sirens echoed in the distance, and the city skyline was illuminated by emergency lights. Bakugou's grip on your hand remained tight, his sound assurance speaking volumes.
Damn earthquake,
he muttered, his gaze scanning the surroundings for a temporary shelter.
Where do you think we should go?
You asked, glancing around at the shaken city. He shrugged, his usual confident demeanor suddenly shaken.
Somewhere away from tall buildings, for starters. Well, we could find an open area.
You nodded in agreement, and together, you navigated through the streets, avoiding unstable structures. The city was in disarray, with people miling about uncertainly. Bakugou's presence, though, provided a sense of security amid the chaos. After a few blocks, he stumbled upon a park, its open space providing a clear view of the night sky. Bakugou led you to a bench, and you both sat down, taking in the surreal atmosphere.
Never thought we'd end up spending the night like this.
Bakugou grumbled, but there was a softness in his eyes as he looked at you.
Yeah, well, at least we're together,
you replied, leaning against him. He smirked.
Don't get used to me being the sentimental dumbass.
You chuckled, resting your head on his shoulder. The park was filled with displaced residents, but there was a strange camaraderie among everyone, a shared understanding that the earthquake had disturbed their lives. As the night wore on, Baku's protective instincts remained on high alert. He ensured that you had water and found a blanket from a nearby emergency supply station. The two of you sat together, exchanging stories and jokes to distract from the chaos surrounding you.
Guess we're having a makeshift sleepover,
he remarked, a playful glint in his eyes.
Best earthquake date ever,
you teased,
earning a mock glare from Bakugou.
The hours passed, and eventually, the emergency services managed to restore some order. As the first light of dawn broke, the tremors of the night were replaced by a tentative calm.
We should head back to the dorms and see the damage,
Bakugou suggested, helping you up from the bench. You nodded, realizing that the night had forged a deeper connection between you two. The adversity had brought out a vulnerability in Bakugou that only strengthened the bond you shared. The journey back was quieter. The early morning, sunlight casting a warm glow on the city in the aftermath of the chaos. Hand in hand, you and Bakugou faced the challenges ahead, knowing that together you could weather any storm. As you approached the dormitory, the extent of the earthquake's impact became clearer. Cracks snaked up the walls, shattered glass covered the ground, and the once familiar disaster movie. Bakugou clenched his jaw, his fist tight as he surveyed the damage.
Looks like we'll need a new place to crash for a while,
he grumbled, his protective instincts still in full force. The dormitory's common area was a hub of activity, with students and faculty assisting the destruction. Recovery teams were already at work, clearing debris and assessing structural integrity. Despite the chaos, a sense of unity lingered as everyone pitched in to help. In the days that followed, the dorm underwent repairs, and life gradually returned to normal. The earthquake had tested your resilience, but it had also strengthened the bond between you and Bakugou. As you settled back into your room, you couldn't help but appreciate the unspoken understanding that sometimes it takes a quake to reveal the solid foundation beneath. Thank you guys for listening. If you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye.